Hey guys, Vic right here. Hope everybody's doing good. And no, this is not a clickbait title and thumbnail. I'm really gonna fix a leaking bushing. So here's the story. I bought this new. It came to me, and I assembled it, and it's leaking from the top. And it's not the O-ring. It's leaking from around the bushing here. So between the aluminum and the bushing. I've never seen that. So I was kind of curious about it, but anyways, I got my money back, almost all my money back. Had to pay import fees, and I lost them. I lost the import fees, so I'm just gonna try to fix it. Because if I go from inside, I can disassemble this thing. I can go inside and put a coat of urethane, you know, good old windshield urethane. So that's what I'm gonna try. And to illustrate the problem that's with this hairspring, I got another one here, an old one, and I cut it open, removed the band, I pulled out that tube which is on the floor there, and I'm going to show you how they are assembled. So first, this is a sleeve that is crimped on top, so you cannot buy just the ring. I mean, there's some seller that sells only the ring and the liner. It's not gonna do you any good because yeah, this is crimped. So what are you gonna do with a sleeve? You need a new sleeve, and you need a machine to shrink it. So anyways, this is what it looks like. Now it looks like a normal airbag, you know. And you see the bottom there, here's the bushing, and you can see some you can see some red residue. This is the kind of glue they put around, and then they press the bushing in. Now, from in there, you will see there is no glue. There's nothing. They just press the bushing in. They forgot to put the glue around it. So, yeah. In order to see this, though, you have a bunch of parts in the way. For one, there's this bushing removed. This bushing sits in there. And then you have another bushing like so, which is fitted into this cup, and this cup screws at the bottom. Oh yeah, let me try that again. Then you have the cup, and the cup just screws in, you know. And it's a 24mm, but I don't have that. But I have a 22, and I have some old saw blades. So, and they're about a millimeter thick. So I got 6 pieces of them, and I taped them around the socket here, which is a 22, and it works a treat. And I was able to remove this thing, right? So the same thing on the other one, harder to see because the tube is on it, and I cannot remove the tube because if I remove the tube, I wreck the ring and I wreck the airbag, and it's not replaceable. So I have to work around this. Okay, but on the other one, it's a bit harder to see. So what I've done is I've unscrewed it, and it will not go through the tube. This piece, the screw-in part, it's not going through. What I've done is I unscrewed it, flipped it around, I extended the airbag just like it was on if the car was on the lift mode, and it's got a bit of room so you can turn it around. So I just turned it around. It's not really required. I just want to inspect everything, and I removed the washer, this big one, at the bottom with a magnet, long magnet on a stick. And now I have an axis. I can see the bushing on the other side. So what I'll do is I'll squirt some urethane from the top here, and then with a dowel I'm gonna apply it all the way around the bushing, and then I'm gonna put my washer back in there. It's gonna hold the pressure, it's gonna hold it, and there's not gonna be any room between the inner chamber and the circumference of the bushing, so it should seal just fine. So that's what I'm going to do. I don't know. In goes the washer. Go. Collapsing this thing. Now need to start the treads. What do you guys want to see inside? It's a bit messy, but pretty sure it'll work. I put more than necessary, so a lot of it will squirt out. But here's the inside shot. See, there's I had to push with my wooden dowels, so I made a few smudge of urethane on top of the washer. But yeah, it's present there. There's more than enough. So I'll put the cup back in and start screwing it back. So all that's left now is cleaning up the hole here, because this is where the O-ring is going to sit. This is the rod of the damper, so with the wires sticking out. So this needs to be cleaned. So I'm going to clean this surface and it should be good. And now I'm installing the residual valve. This is a valve that keeps the pressure inside the bag always a little bit above ambient. And I made this tool back in tool repair Sunday. I believe it was number 2. I'll link it at the end of the video. This is how I made it, so it fits perfectly in there and allows you to screw it without screwing everything up. There we go. And now I'll put a little bit of pressure in it just to keep this this seal here under pressure until it dries. It's been 24 hours. I'm gonna put some soapy water in there again. We'll do the test. There we go, got soapy water in there. And now I'm going to pressurize it. Not a single bubble. Okay, it's all back together. All I gotta do is put the boot back in, a little one here, and then the electrical connector for the dampers. So what happened? Well, this bag was perfectly fine, except it was not assembled right. If we look at the old one, this one lasted 380,000 kilometers, and as you can tell, there is some red staining on this, as well as the washer that sits next to it, and this is Loctite. So in this one, we saw there was no such thing. So they forgot to put the Loctite before pressing the bushing in and said, well, it's going to be fine. And it was not fine. It was leaking around. So my repair, covering up this whole area, the bushing and the aluminum, it's making a big old seal around this, is going to be just fine. And it's not leaking right now. I know I don't expect it to. But if it does, I'll show the report back. But yeah, I'm pretty confident it's gonna be just fine. So all that's left to do now is put it back on the car and move towards a 600,000 K. So thanks for watching. Catch you in the next one.